Hello everyone, so in the last class we talked about the living world, in which we talked about different characteristic features of living organisms like growth, metabolism, reproduction, consciousness, cellular organization, etc. Then we talked about the taxonomical hierarchies, in which we talked about different categories which are called taxon, and based on that categories we can classify organisms into 7 different categories like kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. Then we talked about the different types of taxonomical aids with the help of which we can determine the position of living organisms in the taxonomical group. Okay, so that was the last class in which we discussed about the living world. Now in this class we'll start with the next chapter, which is the biological classification. Okay, so please get the heading, the biological classification, and we can classify living organisms in this chapter. So this classification system, actually what is this? This is a classification system. It is a classification system. It is a classification system which classifies living organisms. You have to make notes along with me. Okay, so be prepared for that. Take out your notebook and copy these parts which I'm going to write on the board. Okay, so classification system, and this classification system itself is of 3 different types. Okay, the oldest system is the artificial system. The oldest system is the artificial system. It is called the artificial system of classification. Artificial system of classification. Okay, classification. Now, in the older times, this system was used and it was replaced by a new system which was called natural system. But because of some drawbacks, this system was also rejected, and finally the system that we use today is the phylogenetic system. So we have 3 different types of classification systems: artificial, natural, phylogenetic. Now what is artificial? Now artificial system is based on some natural, some morphological characteristic features. So I can just write based on morphological characters that we can observe. Okay, that can be observed. That can be observed by naked eyes. Okay, you can observe them. For example, Aristotle. I hope सबको पता होगा Aristotle. Aristotle is the father of biology, and he classified organisms into 3 categories. Okay, he classified organisms into 3 categories. The first category was aquatic, second terrestrial, and third one was aerial. So he classified organisms into 3 categories. Some organisms lived in water and they were called aquatic. For example, if I say fishes, okay, whales. Remember that whales are not fishes; they are mammals. Similarly, dolphins as well. They are also fishes. No, they are mammals. Whales and dolphins, they are mammals. Shark is a fish. So Aristotle classified aquatic organisms into a single group. But we know that fishes are not mammals and mammals are not fishes. They are different. They are different groups. Okay. But because of the morphological characters, because of the morphological characters and their habitat. What is habitat? The place or location where an organism lives. That is called habitat. Okay. So because of that thing, habitat and morphological characters, Aristotle placed fishes and whales together. Similarly, he also placed insects like cockroaches, butterflies, and mammals like cow, cattle, buffalo, like lion, tiger, human beings also in the same group. But we know that they are different organisms. Okay. Now aerial, he also placed bat. Bat is a mammal once again, and birds. Birds are aves together. So this system was not 100% proof, not even 50% foolproof. Okay. So that's why it was rejected, and it was rejected by this natural system of classification. Now, before we come to natural system, let's first copy this part, and then I will erase this part. Okay, or I can just copy it here. I can write here also. So please copy this part first. Next thing is about Aristotle once again, and this time Aristotle classified organisms into 2 categories. Okay, 2 categories were Enema or Enema. Okay, Enema or Enema, and Enema or Enema. Enema, Enema. Okay, Enema, Enema. E means true, okay, and E means without, A means without. Okay, so Naima means red blood. Okay, so some organisms had red blood in their body. Okay, and some organisms did not have red blood. So examples, if I say examples, say humans have red blood. Okay, then if I say cattle, if I say lion, dog, cats, all of them have red blood. Okay, now without red blood, organisms like insects, like cockroaches. Next, you can say jellyfishes, octopus, okay, mollusks. There are a number of organisms, or sponges. So they don't have red blood. So Aristotle classified organisms into two categories based on morphology. This was based on morphology. Now this classification was based on habitat. Okay, so I can just add here based on morphological characters and habitat. Okay, habitat. So that is all about the artificial system of classification, which was proposed by, and it was supported by others as well. It was proposed by Aristotle. It was supported by others like Pliny, and you can also write Pliny, supported by Pliny. Okay, but it was rejected later. So this is of ancient time, ये medieval time का natural system. So please copy this part first, and then I will erase this. Please pause the video and copy this part. Okay, done? Alright. The next part is about the natural system, in which natural system was first proposed by Bentham and Hooker. So we will start with the natural system. It was proposed by, please write the names. They are very important for NEET exam. Bentham and Hooker. Okay, and it is based on comparable studies. Okay, comparable studies of characters. So I can write based on. System is based on. It is based on comparable studies of characters. Okay, so it is as a result of these studies we can find similarities and dissimilarities among different organisms. So we will study the natural characteristic features of organisms, and then we will study about the comparable characters. Comparable characters, like if I want to compare the characters of a human with a bird, let's say. Okay, so humans have, and if I add fishes as well. So humans have 4 arms, right? But the 4 arms in birds are modified into wings. So they have wings. Okay. Fishes have fins. So these are some characters which you can visualize. Okay. Now, if I talk about hairs, so hair are present. Hair is present throughout the body. In case of birds, hair is not present, but feathers are present, right? In case of fishes, scales are present. Okay. Now, if I talk about the different chambers present in heart, so humans have 4-chambered heart. Okay. In case of birds, the heart is again 4-chambered. Okay. In case of reptiles, it is 3-chambered. It's 3.5 chambered in crocodile. But in case of birds, it is totally 4-chambered. Okay. In case of fishes, the heart is just 2-chambered. So you can see the similarities and dissimilarities in this case. Like, I haven't seen any similarities so far. So let's write a similar feature. Let's write a similar feature. Let's say humans are warm-blooded. Similarly, birds are also warm-blooded. Okay, but in this case they are cold-blooded. So, okay, fine. Anyways, now if I come to the conclusion, I can see humans and birds have more features in common than humans and fishes. Okay, let's mark the common features. Like in this case, four-chambered heart, warm-blooded, warm-blooded. Okay, and dissimilar features are many. It's like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So 2 common and 2 uncommon. Okay, but in case of fishes, all the features are uncommon to human beings. Okay, so this is called natural system classification, which is based on comparable studies of characters. Okay, and because of this comparable study, what we see similarities and dissimilarities among different organisms. Okay, and because of this, what happens? This gives us an idea about the natural relationship among the organisms. Sorry, this gives an idea about the natural relationship among organisms. Okay, natural relationship means these characters represent natural relationships. Natural relationships. Okay, all right. So this is the natural system which is proposed by Bentham and Hooker. All right, take it. Next, please copy this part first. Pause the video and copy the part. Okay. Done. Phylogenetic next. Phylogenetic. Now, phylogenetic system is based on phylogenetic is based on evolutionary characters. Evolutionary characters. Okay, so it is based on evolution, and one more thing which is very important, and fossil records. Fossil records or fossil records. Fossil records. Okay, fossils क्या होते हैं? Fossils जो organism मर चुके हैं, उनकी dead body which is buried under the rocks or soil, and it is under constant pressure from a long time. So this gives an imprint. Imprints on rocks. So you have studied fossils in geography, right? So because of the imprints, we can analyze the structures. Like you can see the fossils of dinosaurs. Okay, so you can analyze the structures which were present in dinosaur, like its tail, its stomach, its head, its neck, its jaws. All can be analyzed. Okay, imprints on rocks. So analyzed helps in analysis of analysis of structures, your body structures, of body parts. Okay, so it also helps in the study of evolution and tracing of ancestors. Yeah, you can write common ancestors. Tracing of common ancestors. What do you mean by common ancestors? The monkeys that we see today, they are not our ancestors. Okay? ये लोग हमारे ancestors नहीं हैं. But once upon a time there was an ape, which was the common ancestor of monkeys, of chimpanzees, of orangutan, of humans. Okay, I cannot say that chimpanzees or monkeys were the ancestors of humans. No, all of them had a common ancestor, which was ape. Okay, and that ape is no longer viable, or that ape is no longer living in this world. It is now an extinct organism. ये extinct हो चुका है, ये खत्म हो चुका है, and उसके बच्चे अभी तक हैं यहाँ पर. तो monkeys, chimpanzees, orangutan, man, these are the बच्चेs of this ape. Okay, so these are our cousins. Monkeys, chimpanzees, orangutan are cousins of human beings. They are not our ancestors. Okay, so similarly, this conclusion can be drawn with the help of fossil studies, right? Fossil records. And this kind of classification system where we use fossil records as evidences, that is called phylogenetic system. Okay, it is sometimes also called cladistics. Cladistics. Okay, it is sometimes also referred to as cladistics. That's it. That's all about the classification system. Please copy this part again, and I'll move to the next part. Alright, chalo. One more thing, homology and analogy. What is homology and what is analogy? Now, homology means, चलो मैं एग्जाम्पल देता हूँ. You can see wings of कॉकरोच के पास विंग है, ठीक है. जब वो उड़ता है तो कैसा लगता है पता नहीं. ओके, विंग्स कॉकरोच के पास है, विंग्स बर्ड्स के पास भी है. ओके, विंग्स बैट्स के पास भी है. और किसके पास है विंग्स? बहुत सारी चीजें हैं, बहुत सारे बर्ड्स हैं. चलो मैं बर्ड्स को एक ग्रुप में ले लिया. ओके, सो आई हैव 3 categories here: cockroaches, birds, bats. Okay, all of them have this wing. But the nature of wings in cockroach is different than that of birds, and which is again different than that of bats. Now, bats में जो wing है, इसका जो component है, it is made up of, it is composed of skin. ये skin से बना हुआ है, skin से बना हुआ है. In case of birds, the wings are made up of feathers, and in case of cockroaches, the wings are made up of chitin. What is chitin? Chitin is a biomolecule. Chitin is a biomolecule. Okay, you'll study about chitin when you study biomolecules in class 11th only. You'll study about it. Okay, so the chemical nature of all the wings are different, but they have a common function, that is flight. सबसे उड़ता है ना organisms. Cockroach भी wings से उड़ता है, birds भी उड़ता है, bats भी उड़ता है. So they have a common function. Okay, so wings have a common function. Wings have a common function. Okay. Wings have a common function. All right. Now, when we talk about homology, what happens in this case? So, in this case, what happens? Suppose there is an ancestor, common ancestor, forearm of common ancestor. Okay. So, if I say first example is cheetah. Cheetah के पास जो forearm है. Suppose humans की बात करूँ. Humans have this forearm, right? Now, if चीता से ह्यूमन को कंपेयर करो तो चीता का जो सामने वाला पैर है, इट इज नथिंग बट द फोर आर्म. ओके, तो चीता के पास जो फोर आर्म है, ह्यूमंस के पास वो हाथ है. एलिफेंट के पास जो फोर आर्म है, ह्यूमंस के पास क्या है? हाथ है. बट मॉर्फोलॉजिकली इफ आई से दे आर सिमिलर. लेट्स सी हाउ. मैन, इन केस ऑफ बर्ड्स द फोर आर्म हैज मॉडिफाइड टू फॉर्म विंग्स. ओके, बट इन केस ऑफ इफ आई से bats as well, right? Bats भी ले सकते हो. चलो bat ले लो यहाँ पर. Bats. And if I say horse, okay, horse. Alright, देखो तो what is the function of forearm in case of cheetah? In case of cheetah, the function of forearm is to run, running. In case of man, the function of forearm is grasping, writing, and doing multiple things. बहुत सारे काम कर सकते हैं, right? Grasping, writing, tool making, etc. etc. Okay. Bats. In case of bats, function is to fly. Yeah. So it helps in flight. In case of horse, once again, it is run. So horse को यहाँ से exclude करता हूँ. Take only 3 characters because these two are similar. And you can see in this case, Wings have a common function. Okay, so they have a common function here, but in this case they have the forearm has got different functions. Right? So functions are different. Functions are different in this case, but they are same. They are common in this case. But the origin, देखो origin एक ही जगह है. Origin is same. They all have evolved from a common ancestor, right? But in this case, their origin is different. Cockroach का जो ancestor था, वो bird का ancestor नहीं था. Bird का जो ancestor था, वो bat का ancestor नहीं था. All are distinct organisms. So origin is different in this case. Okay. Now, what is homology? ये रहा इसका आंसर. Homology means forearm has different function. That means if the characters have different functions but similar origin. If the characters have different functions and similar origin, please write it down. बहुत important है. If the character has different functions but same origin, then that property is called homology, and the organ is called homologous organ. Okay, that property is called homology, and the organ is called homologous organ. Similarly, when I say the character has a common function but different origin. Here the origin was same, here different origin, then it is called analogy, and the organs are called analogous organ. Okay, so that's the difference between analogy and homology. Now comes the important point, which is natural system is based on homology. Natural system is based on homology, okay, which deals with the same origin, similar origin. Natural system is based on homology, while the artificial system is based on analogy. Artificial system is based on analogy. Okay, great. Please copy करो इसको, erase करूँगा. Alright, चलो ठीक. Next part, which is the last part, and that's about history of classification system. So initially, the classification system that came in this world was two kingdom classification. यहाँ से बस लर्न करना है, समझने वाला पार्ट नेक्स्ट वीडियो में आएगा. वो वीडियो काफ़ी अच्छा है, उसको अच्छे से देखना. ये पार्ट सिर्फ लर्न करने का मेनली है. नेक्स्ट पार्ट बहुत कुछ समझने का है. ओके, सो देखते हैं. चलो, 2 kingdom, 3 kingdom, 4 kingdom, 5 kingdom, and the last one is 6 kingdom. Now what is this kingdom? Kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, species, वही वाला kingdom. Okay. Now initially the system that came into existence was the 2 kingdom classification, and it was proposed by Carolus Linnaeus. He was the father of taxonomy. Okay, Carolus Linnaeus. So according to him, the two systems were plant kingdom and animal kingdom. Plant kingdom and animal kingdom, simple. Okay. Now उसके बाद इसमें और भी advancement हुआ, and then came the 3 kingdom classification, according to which, and it was given by Ernst Haeckel. Okay, it was given by Ernst Haeckel. और Haeckel ने क्या बोला कि यार प्लांट और एनिमल्स के अलावा एक और किंगडम होता है, which is, मैं बोल सकता हूँ कि he introduced a new kingdom, kingdom Protista. He introduced kingdom Protista, and Protista किसके लिए था? For unicellular, मैं शॉर्ट में लिख रहा हूँ, unicellular eukaryotic organisms which are unicellular, they were placed in this kingdom Protista. So according to Haeckel 3 kingdoms हो गए, ठीक है, इसलिए इसको क्या बोले? 3 kingdom classification. So कौन कौन से kingdom है? प्लांट और एनिमल तो था ही, प्लस साथ में एक नया आ गया प्रोटिस्टा. ठीक है, तो इसको क्या बोलेंगे? इसको याद करो ट्रिक से, पाप. Haeckel का पाप. ओके, प्लांट, एनिमल, प्रोटिस्टा. After that 4 किंगडम क्लासिफिकेशन आया एंड अकॉर्डिंग टू दिस किंगडम, या इसको कौन प्रपोज किया वो फर्स्ट देखते चलो. इट वाज गिवन बाय कोपलैंड एंड ही इंट्रोड्यूस्ड किंगडम मोनेरा. ही इंट्रोड्यूस्ड न्यू किंगडम मोनेरा. इसके ऊपर हमारा एक नेक्स्ट लेक्चर है पूरा किंगडम मोनेरा के ऊपर. ओके, एंड किंगडम मोनेरा में क्या होता है? दिस इज फॉर यूनिसेलुलर organisms which are prokaryotic. Okay, unicellular prokaryotic organisms. Example, bacteria. Okay, bacteria का पूरा लेक्चर है, नेक्स्ट लेक्चर है जो. ओके, सो मोनेरा फॉर यूनिसेलुलर प्रोकैरियोट्स. और इसके साथ हमारे पास कितने किंगडम हो गए? 4. क्या क्या हो गया? तो मेरे पास ऑलरेडी पाप था, पाप, और एक एक्स्ट्रा नेक्स्ट आ गया, क्या आ गया? मोनेरा. सो आई विल राइट मेरा पाप. ओके, मेरा पाप. कौन बोल रहा है? कोपलैंड. ओके, हैकेल बोल रहा है पाप, तो कोपलैंड बोल रहा है मेरा पाप. ऐसे याद कर लो. नेक्स्ट 5 किंगडम क्लासिफिकेशन. 5 किंगडम क्लासिफिकेशन में इट वाज गिवन बाय R.H. Whittaker व्हिच इज द मोस्ट एक्सेप्टेड वन टिल डेट. एंड हम हमारे सिलेबस में भी यही है. ठीक है, वी हैव टू स्टडी दिस ओनली. इनके नाम याद रखने बस, इसको डिटेल में पढ़ना है. सो ही इंट्रोड्यूस्ड किंगडम फंगाई. ही इंट्रोड्यूस्ड किंगडम फंगाई, फंगस के लिए. ठीक है, तो इन्होंने फंगस के लिए लिया. और इसके साथ हमारे पास कितने सारे हो गए? तो ये हो गया हमारे पास मोनेरा, प्रोटिस्टा, और बीच में आ गया फंगाई. ठीक है, प्लांटी, एनिमलिया. प्लांटी मींस प्लांट किंगडम, एनिमलिया मींस एनिमल किंगडम. Okay, and the last one which is not in our syllabus, this is called sixth kingdom. It is also called, so first इसको कौन डिस्कवर किया वो देखते हैं. कार्ल रूज ने इसको डिस्कवर किया. कार्ल रूज. Okay, and it was also called 3 domains of life. 3 domains of life. तो कुछ हुआ नहीं इसमें. मोनेरा जो है ना, मोनेरा को 2 पार्ट कर दिया इसने. किसने? कार्ल रूज ने. तो मोनेरा को उसने 2 पार्ट में डिवाइड कर दिया. एंड टू पार्ट्स वर आर्की एंड बैक्टीरिया. ओके, सो 3 डोमेन्स ऑफ लाइफ क्या होता है? फर्स्ट में किंगडम्स की बात करो. 6 किंगडम्स क्या क्या हो गए यहाँ पे? देखो, मोनेरा को 2 पार्ट में डिवाइड कर दो, आर्की एंड यू बैक्टीरिया. आर्की बैक्टीरिया ऐसे लिखो, आर्की बैक्टीरिया एंड Eubacteria. Okay, Archaebacteria and Eubacteria. So the 6 kingdoms are, according to Carl Ruz, the 6 kingdoms are Archaebacteria. मैं AB लिख रहा हूँ शॉर्ट में. Second one is Eubacteria, UB. Sorry, EB. Next are same like Protista, fungi, Protista. 4th one is fungi. 5th one is plantae, and 6th one is animalia. Rest everything is same. Okay. Now he called the 6 classifications of kingdom as 3 domains of life. 3 domains of life में क्या क्या पार्ट्स आते हैं? लेट्स सी, जस्ट याद कर लो. 3 domains. The first domain consists of this group which is called archaea. Okay, archaea और archaebacteria एक ही बात है. Second one is called eubacteria or bacteria only. And third one is called eukarya. Now you can see eukarya comprises of 4 different kingdoms. इसके अंदर कौन कौन से किंगडम है? यूकैरिया के अंदर, इस डोमेन के अंदर, इस डोमेन के अंदर 4 किंगडम्स हैं. कौन कौन से? ये सारे, प्रोटिस्टा, फंगाई, प्लांटी, एनिमलिया. प्रोटिस्टा, फंगाई, प्लांटी, एनिमलिया. ओके, दैट्स इट. ये है बायोलॉजी क्लासिफिकेशन का हिस्ट्री खत्म हो गया यहाँ पर. और कुछ चीजें और उसको भी डिस्कस कर लेते हैं. प्लीज कॉपी दिस पार्ट फर्स्ट. प्लीज कॉपी दिस पार्ट. ओके, the last thing is about viruses. So viruses are inert outside the living organism. So they are considered an interlinking substance बोल सकते हो, because living organism तो बोल ही सकते हो. They are interlinking between living and non-living. So they cannot be considered as living nor as non-living. So ना living है ना non-living है, दोनों के बीच का है ये. ठीक है, जब तक ये बॉडी के अंदर एंटर नहीं करता, it remains in non-living form. But as soon as it enters a living body, it attains living form. Okay, and it uses the host machinery. Host का machinery use करके it produces its own proteins. This we'll discuss in the next chapter, which is transduction. We will see how a virus acts. Okay, next chapter में, next lecture में, in fact, next lecture जो है उसमें देखना किंगडम मोनेरा में you will see transduction. वहाँ पर you will see virus का life कैसे होता है बैक्टीरिया के साथ. Okay. ऑलराइट, जो भी है, वायरस का जो स्ट्रक्चर होता है, इफ आई से दिस इज अ वायरस and this virus has got a name, bacteriophage. This is called bacteriophage. Okay, bacteriophage. Now ये bacteriophage का स्ट्रक्चर है, you can see this blue जो covering है, this is called capsid. Okay, and capsids are made up of proteins called capsomeres. So these lines are capsomeres. Individual capsomeres, they come together and they form a protein coat which is called capsid. Okay, inside the capsid, this thing is the DNA. Now viruses can have DNA as well as RNA, but at a time एक वायरस के अंदर सिर्फ DNA होगा या फिर सिर्फ RNA होगा. Both cannot be present at the same time. Okay, so DNA is a genetic material in case of bacteriophage. Okay, bacteriophage DNA. Okay, now these are tail fibers. Okay. And this bacteriophage is of two types, T2 or T4. Two strains of bacteriophage are there, T2 or T4. Okay, that's it. ये virus was also कौन discover किया था? So it was discovered by Ivanovsky. Ivanovsky and Pasteur, इसको ऐसे लिखते हैं. Actually Ivanovsky डिस्कवर किया था इसको, ठीक है. डिस्कवरी ऑफ वायरस एंड द टर्म वायरस वाज कॉइन्ड बाय, ऐसे लिखो, पास्चर का नाम लिखो, पास्चर या पास्तूर. एक्चुअली इसका प्रोनाउंसिएशन इज पास्तूर. ओके, या पास्चराइजेशन सुने होंगे, पास्चराइजेशन ऑफ मिल्क. ओके, पास्चर. तो पास्चर या पास्तूर इज he coined the term virus. I'll send you a note on virus, उसको read कर देना. And Stanley crystallized viruses. Okay, and एक और है, फोर्थ नंबर, Bejerinic. Okay, now Bejerinic ने क्या किया था? He said that virus actually fluid के रूप में होता है, and this fluid is infectious. Okay, so infectious fluid. He considered virus to be an infectious fluid, and he gave a name to this infectious fluid. He called it contagium. हैरी पॉटर का मंत्र है ये, स्पेल है. ओके, contagium vivum fluidum. Which means infectious fluid. So ये हुआ viruses के बारे में कुछ historical facts. Please copy this part and we will discuss the last part, which is about viroids and lichens. Okay. Okay, चलो. Viroids. So what is oid? Oid means just like, not exactly but just like. तो ये किसके ऐसा है? Just like. Okay. So just like किसके ऐसा है? Just like, it is just like a virus. Okay, just like a virus, but it is not exactly a virus. It is just like a virus. It means viroid का मतलब हो जा रहा है वायरस के जैसा. ठीक है, like virus, just like virus, but not a virus. Now viroids के पास क्या होता है? They have only nucleic acid. What is nucleic acid? Nucleic acid दो तरह का होता है, DNA और RNA. So it can have DNA or RNA, ठीक है, but it lacks proteins. Proteins नहीं होते इसके पास. In case of viruses क्या था? both proteins and genetic material, that is DNA or RNA were there. But in this case, only nucleic acid is present and proteins are absent. So this is discovered by, viroids were discovered by Diner. Okay, Diner, discovered by Diner. नाम याद रखो बस. एक और टर्म है हमारे पास which is virion. Okay, virion. So virions are inert virus particles. I can write inert complete virus particles. Inert but complete virus particles. Inert but complete virus particles present outside the host. Outside the host. Okay, so those virus particles which are present outside the host, they are inert in nature because they don't have metabolism. But as soon as they enter a body of host, then क्या होता है? They become activated. Okay, so at that point of time, a virion converts into a virus. तो जब तक body के बाहर रहेगा virus, it will act as virion. But as soon as it enters inside the body of living organism, it behaves as a complete virus. Okay, so virions and virus, they are basically same. जब body के बाहर रहेगा, outside the body of host, उस virus को क्या बोलेंगे? Virion. But when it is present inside the body of host, it is called virus. So basically we are saying its location different. Okay. The last thing is about lichens. Lichens. So lichens क्या होता है? Symbiotic association. Symbiotic means if two organisms come close to each other and they stay together for some mutual benefit. दोनों कुछ फायदा हो रहा है. जैसे कि rhizobium और leguminous plants P का होता है. ठीक है. Similarly यहाँ भी होता है. So lichens are symbiotic associations. Symbiotic association of two organisms. किसका? Of algae and fungi. Okay, algae and fungi. Now algae का function क्या होता है? Algae prepares food. Algae prepares food, while the fungi provides shelter. Okay, algae prepares food for fungi, and in return, this fungi provides shelter to algae. Okay, that's it. That's all about biological classification. So in the next part, we'll discuss about kingdom Monera. So once we complete kingdom Monera, we'll move to the next Protista. Protista we'll discuss next week. Protista and fungi. Okay. Please watch this lecture next. Kingdom Monera. Bye bye.